Why do so many people with good grades and degrees still struggle with money? If school is supposed to make you rich, why do most people retire with barely enough to survive? The truth is, the system is designed to keep you working for money, not to teach you how to make money work for you. You're told to study hard, get a job, buy a house, and save for retirement. But who really benefits from this advice? The banks, the companies, and the government. The rules of money have changed, but the advice in schools hasn't. You're playing an old game with outdated rules. Most people live in financial fear, clinging to a steady paycheck that will never make them wealthy. They trade their time and dreams for a false sense of security, becoming slaves to their jobs and bills. The system isn't broken. It was built to create employees, not independent thinkers. The path of school, job, debt, and retirement leads to mediocrity for most, and massive wealth for a few. The first step to freedom? Question everything you've been taught about money. To escape the trap, you need to know who controls the game. The top 1% holds nearly half of all global wealth. That's not an accident, it's by design. The rich don't get wealthy by earning a salary. They own assets, businesses, real estate, stocks, intellectual property. While you're taught to work for money, they're taught to acquire assets that work for them. The financial system is their playground. They use debt to get richer and pay less in taxes than their employees. These are the owners of corporations, tech giants, banks, and real estate empires. They don't just have jobs. They own the systems that provide jobs. The average person worries about paychecks. The wealthy think about their next acquisition. The rules are written by those with the most to gain. They influence laws, governments, and media to keep the system in their favor. When you save money in a bank, you're lending it to them for pennies while they multiply it. You're on the wrong side of the cash flow equation. Understanding this imbalance is the first step to switching sides. If you want to win, you need to play the same game. Why doesn't school teach you about money? Because it was never designed to. Our education system was built to create obedient workers for the industrial age, not independent thinkers or entrepreneurs. Schools reward memorization and following instructions, not creativity or challenging the system. The structure, bells, rows, rigid schedules, mirrors a factory, not a business. The curriculum trains you to be a specialist, a cog in someone else's machine. The Industrial Revolution needed workers and schools delivered. But the world has changed. We're in the information age, yet the education model hasn't evolved. Real wealth now comes from building systems, businesses, and investments, not from job security. School teaches you to work for a system, never to own it. As my rich dad said, most people are poor because they were trained to be employees in a system owned by the rich. The education system leads straight into the rat race. You're pressured to get good grades, go to college, and land a safe job, often with a mountain of debt. Once you start working, you trade your most valuable asset, your time, for a paycheck. Then you buy things: a car, a house, more debt. The bank owns your house and you're tied to your job to pay for it. Your expenses rise with your income, trapping you in a cycle of working, earning, and spending. You work for your employer, the government, taxes, and the bank, interest. Everyone gets paid before you do. No matter how hard you work, you're not in control of your financial destiny. The American dream is a brilliant trap disguised as success, but built on liabilities, not assets. The system convinces you that a job is the only way to live, and climbing the corporate ladder is the only way to succeed. It punishes risk, discourages failure, and makes breaking away seem terrifying. The prison walls are comfortable, but they're still a prison. Most people never escape because they don't even realize they're trapped. The rat race is designed to keep you running, but never winning. Why is money never taught in school? Because most teachers don't know about it themselves. They're dedicated, but they're products of the same system, trained to be employees, not investors. They can teach theory, but not real-world financial skills. The curriculum is designed by people with no incentive to create a financially literate population. Financially educated people are harder to control, less likely to fall for debt traps, and more likely to question the system. Banks and governments benefit from a financially ignorant population. The lack of financial education isn't an oversight. It's intentional. It keeps you working for a paycheck, paying taxes, and saving in banks that make the rich richer. While schools train employees, the rich teach their kids a different game. The key lesson: know the difference between an asset and a liability, and spend your life acquiring assets. Assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take it out. It's that simple. The rich focus on building assets, businesses, real estate, stocks, commodities, not just earning a high salary. Wealth is measured by how long you can live without working. thanks to your assets' cash flow. The rich teach their kids to invest, understand financial statements, and see opportunity where others see risk. They use debt and taxes as tools, not traps. They buy assets with good debt and use legal strategies to protect wealth. They teach entrepreneurship, problem-solving, and leadership, not just job skills. This mindset is passed down at home, not in school. That's why the rich keep getting richer. You're at a crossroads. Keep following the path of an employee, or choose financial education and freedom. Breaking free means unlearning what you've been taught and daring to be different. Your escape starts with one decision. Take control of your financial education. Don't wait for school, your boss, or the government to teach you. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos, and find mentors who've succeeded. Start by understanding your own finances. Track your income, expenses, and cash flow. Use your job income to buy or build assets, even small ones. Every asset is a step toward making your money work for you. The journey is a marathon, not a sprint. You'll make mistakes, learn from them. Fear of failure keeps most people trapped. The successful fail, learn, and keep going. Ask yourself, did you go to school just for a job, or is there more? Challenge the system. Your real education begins when you take control of your money and your life. Start today.